Hi everyone, parachute Caddis. This is a I can see it right, the Grannom. This is just a basically size 16 Czech Nymph hook, wide gape, ideal. I like using these for parachute flies. You can use a straight hook, it's okay as well, nothing wrong with that. But this is a hook I like, and the colour, the black nickel goes with this kind of grey light coloured fly. Now, I do tie Grannoms lots of different ways. I do have the synthetic basically ones, like I've recently tied one. I mean, actually, zoom out. I'll zoom out. This is my high-tech fly box. It's a tub. It's a tub of flies. I usually put it into the side of my pocket. It's handy. Just for grabbing a selection of the type of flies that I'm fishing at this time of the year. The Grannom's due any time. This is just the ultra dry yarn version, one with horns. It's a bit Phuket looking like, but it's had fish and it will still be okay. And that's on a straight hook. I've got obviously Duns. I've got the CDC. This is the cinnamon Caddis. I've got a pile up here. There we go. It's just they're good. They're obviously in the summer months when there's a few of them about. In the evenings and so on, but it's a very good supporting fly. It's as well as catching fish. It'll support a nymph for even a wet or two. We've got obviously the Duns and the Dynamite style. The best fly for last year was I've got here. I mean, I fished this last year. It's a bit rough, like, but this one here is the March Brown, and they're on the water. So I'm fishing tomorrow. The chances are we're getting close to the Grannom coming off. And I like to have synthetic versions as much as natural. And this is a bit more like the natural version. And good pattern, simple to tie, this one. This is more for like, well, the male and female. The female has an egg sac at the back once they start to breed, obviously. The male is slightly smaller. This is a 16. Which is a good size. I think a size will cover both. You can get away with both. And this is just a simple fly, as I say. Now, hook choice, bit of one in the, as I say, you can use a straight hook. I mean, let's give an idea. This is a straight hook version. This is the size 16, black nickel. It's ultimate dry, obviously. The Czech Nymph. I like the wide gape and this style at times. So. Again, size 16, you can use any of the two. It's worth tying on both, it's up to yourself. So, put it into the vise. I usually try and level the shank out, just making sure I'm in the middle. Move the camera a wee bit. There we are, so it's better. Thread I'm going to be using, this is the Uni Thread 80 in grey. Now you could use black, I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. You're not going to see the colour of the thread, so you just use a thread colour that suits what you've got. I'm just waxing it there. Now what I'm going to do is it's tied in the Dynamite Harry style, so I take the thread to the point of the hook and then I remove the waste. Now I like to use under the wing this style of fly, like a fibre. It could be cock hackles, it could be quite a few things you could use. Now, this is a Coq de Leon. It's a white and Coq de Leon. It's one from the saddle, and I like using these fibres. That's nice and glossy, shiny, got a nice speckle to it. I do see it. You can see it in the water, and don't be shy. Put a few fibres in, and if you don't have it, just use a Coq hackle fibre. Now you're thinking of the length of the fly. Now the fly is not too big, so use this as the end of the wing length, so you've got to remember it's a detached fly. I'm using this style of hook for the gape. It's just for the gape, but it's a good hook. So you're looking for your fly around about, it's a 16, so imagine tying a 16 on this. So I do a couple of turns on top, and I usually come underneath these hackle fibres, and then 2 or 3 turns to tighten it up, and then trim this away. And just make sure there's wax in your thread. You want a good base of wax down and thread anyway, so that nothing moves. especially when you're using, this is elk. Now I'm going to zoom out again. This is when you go in the shop, you're buying what do you call it, deer hair. This was a piece of elk. Now it's a kind of unusual colour, like you can see it's dark on one side and light on the other. Perfect. So in my view, because they give you the option of tying a dark version and a light version of the same fly, and it is sometimes worth having either, because you'll get that nice darkness if you want, and lightness, and this when you're tying other patterns. Now I'm going to use the dark side, so I'm just going to pull out enough fibre to form the wing. Now I'm going to stack this. Now the reason I'm using elk, it's a stiffer fibre, sits nice and it wears quite well, so it does. So what I'm going to do here is take away the underfur, and then I'm going to stack it. So I'm bringing the tips. The tips have lined up, nice dark tips. And then so you can see it a wee bit better, I'll zoom back in because I nearly forgot it. Yeah. Now you want the tips towards the end of the white and the cotyledon fibres. So I've got it there, so there's your wing. I'm going to catch this on the top, so I usually a couple of turns and then pull tight down. 2 or 3 turns and keep going. You want to make sure that's not going to move. That's the other thing about the elk, it can take a bit of abuse. Some deer hair is quite hollow and the thread turns we cut through it. You may lose the odd one round the bend a wee bit, but that's okay. It's fine at that. We can tidy that up. Now I'm using, it's actually, this is in the actual Grannom, there's a type of cinnamon or brown type colour. You can see it in it, and you can see it in the deer hair as well. So this is just some rabbit, sorry, and some CDC dyed cinnamon, and I've blended it. I just tend to cut it up, use my blender, put it together. You get a nice wee bit of dubbing, nice bit of colour. You don't necessarily have to use this, but I like it. I've dubbed it on these flies quite a few times, and you can see I'm putting it on just to tidy up that area, and it's quite loose, very leggy like. So you've got it on that side, so you've got enough room. Make sure you've always got enough, a good 2.5 mil from there, and bring your thread in front, because this is going to be your post. It's important you do watch the thread. Now I'm using a badger. This is a badger hackle. It's a saddle. It's from a pro grade sorry, it's just a white saddle. It's a pro grade version. It's got a nice golden colour to it, and it's quite long. Don't be shy when you're doing parachute flies. Slightly exaggerate. Don't make it too small. I prefer it a wee bit longer than normal. Gives a great impression on the water. So we bare some of the stem, catch it in the front. Then when you post, you're not going to get much. You're going to basically form like the tight at the bottom type shuttlecock of deer hair and hackle. So I'm basically holding the cut ends of the deer hair and the hackle, and then I'm coming up enough turns just to basically wind the hackle on. You're looking round about, depends on how heavy you want it. You can exaggerate. You can always take material off. You can't add it on. So if you, 2 turns can be enough. It'll float the fly. It'll give the impression of legs. But 4 turns will help it float in rough water. So I make it last a wee bit longer. So then what you want to do is just then put in, there's 3, pull it nice and tight, 4 turns. So you can see what the hackle's like, it's fine. So what I then do is just, I bring the hackle down, then lift everything up. So there's the hackle. Thread is, obviously the hackle's on my side, obviously the thread, and then I just use these 2 fingers to hold the hackle while I bring the thread up. And then nice and tight, right in there. And then we want to trim away the hackle itself. Now again, lift up the fibre, take your thread to the practically at the eye of the hook. I'm going to go back to the same dubbing. You don't need much, it's just to tidy up the area. Now you could put horns in, you could leave them, but in this fly I'm not that bothered, this fly. So I lift up the fibre again, and then I'm at the eye, so then I'm going to work the dubbing up to the hackle, and then bring the thread turns through. And then keeping the thread tight, put a bit of varnish on my thread. And then again, make sure things are out the way, flat finish. Tighten up. Use the nail here, I usually put my nail on the side of the eye, pull the thread tight, trim that away. Now the cut ends, bring them straight up. I'm just going to press down on the hackle to make sure they're flat, the fibres anyway. And you basically want a straight cut. Now you want it about maybe 2-3 mil away. You will miss the odd one, like I've done there. There we are. See what I like underneath. If you've got the odd fibre, you can trim it away if you want. There we go. And that's it. Wee rough and ready type Caddis pattern. It's very good for the Grannom. Rough and ready. Sits nice. It just obviously natural fibre. It's got a natural colour. It's got that nice blend of sort of colours that suit, especially the Grannom. I see these colours in the natural, and the lighter coloured hackle is just in this case it's the badger. It's got a nice mottly colour. It's got a nice mix of black and it's kind of whitey grey. Actually, it's more out. It's like kind of light dun when it's wound on. Again, suits it. So there we are. It's a Dynamite Caddis, elk hair Caddis if you want to call it. Parachute style, nice pattern to say. So I'm filling the box with just for them. Hopefully, I'm down tomorrow. We might see 1 or 2 Grannom coming off. If they are, it's some of the best sport you'll see at this time of the year, and great fun to fish when the Grannom's hatching. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and again, thanks for watching.